and members of parliament from Acholi. The press briefing is concerning the closure of the Karuma Bridge. You remember Karuma Bridge was closed on the 3rd of May for the period of 3 months, and as to the people of northern Uganda. And according to the UNRWA, is that all the big trucks are not supposed to cross from Karuma. Buses are not supposed to pass from Karuma. And our people started respecting the rules. And they stated clearly that they had a route that passes from the park, from Masindi and the Mason Park. That road would be open for the trucks and the buses. The buses from northern Uganda started following the guidelines. And in the period of 1 month, from last month onward, we started seeing different things happening. As I speak now, the trucks coming from Kampala, during daytime, they move and park near Karuma Bridge. Buses at daytime, they move and park. At night hours, the truck owners, they pay 300,000 Uganda shillings, and they're allowed to cross from the bridge, which was closed. The buses are paying 200,000 Uganda shillings, and they're allowed to cross from Karuma. Now we are looking as if UNRWA must be conniving with the security personnel that are blocking the bridge to extort money from the truck owners and the buses that are moving to northern Uganda. And now we are praying that instead of closing the bridge, and you are allowing those heavy trucks and buses to cross at night, as if at night hours the bridge becomes strong, during daytime the bridge is quite weak. So right now UNRWA and the security personnel are now using the closure of Karuma Bridge to extort money from our traders who are coming from northern Uganda. And the effects of the closure of the bridge has brought serious problem to the people of northern Uganda. The businesses have gone down. The prices of commodities have gone too high, and very many businessmen are closing down their business because of the closure of the Karuma Bridge. Right now we are praying that the government should consider opening the other new bridge at the eastern side. When you are at the Karuma, there's a new bridge which was constructed where the electricity plant are. We just pray that let government open up that alternative bridge so that temporarily buses, lorries could pass from there. And also we are praying that there are alternative route that passes from the park. Government should consider giving it free completely. Because as I speak now, when it reaches 6 p.m., they close that road on the park. And when they close that road, after 6 p.m., the buses and the trucks, you pay money and you're allowed to move even the whole night. So it's as if each and everything is now for extorting money from our traders, from our business community. That is what brought us today. I would like to invite my colleagues to give in their submission, and later on we shall invite the questions that may be raised. Thank you so much.
Gilbert Olanya. To the press, my name is Judith Pisa-Chan. I'm the woman member of parliament for Nwaya district, which is now the alternative route through the park for the big trucks. I believe we all aware that 2 months ago, an ultimatum was passed and issued out that there will be an increment, inflation as well in commodities. The men and women who do businesses in northern Uganda, just because of that diversion. And for us, we felt it was something which is worthy because it's worth life. And we feel if the 3 months ultimatum that has been given, a report would be given to the public on how far the assessment has taken place and what the next step that the government will take to work on the bridge as well. But to our information, we got a disturbing information. Some people who traveled in the bus has given us information to raise the voice as we represent them, that they are being charged, and yet from the time that they do businesses, they don't meet the deadline. Sometimes the goods get rotten on the way because they have to wait for the time that they can bribe the security men at the bridge. So this is the time that we are calling upon the government to give us a midterm report on the assessment of the bridge, how far it has gone, and what is the next step. And for those who are using the diverted route through the park, and for those who are really paying money through the park because they want that quick service, they cannot really come out openly to report such a case at police. But ideally, to protect the wild animal as well, we are not supposed to drive through the park beyond 7 p.m. And for me, that support tourism, honestly speaking, they are doing a disservice to the tourism sector, especially in Mashishon Game Park Reserve that we have in Noya. So I call upon the government, we need the report on the status quo of Karuma Bridge. And what is the next step? How can our people be safeguarded from this extortion of money that is taking place in Karuma? And for how long are we going to encourage this bribery on the routes? Especially for those who do business, you have already paid a lot of money. From Gulu to Kampala, you are paying 60,000 or 50,000, and yet your goods are getting rotten in the buses or in the trucks. So I call upon the government to respond to this cry of our people. Thank you.
Boniface Okot, Member of Parliament representing the youth of Northern Uganda. First of all, for the record, I want to inform the nation that Northern Uganda is part of Uganda, and that the northern part of Uganda has 8 million citizens of this country, and all these are people who pay taxes. What baffles me is the fact that we have to demonstrate, the fact that sometimes we have to demand, the fact that we have to organize press conferences in order for our people to access a public good. Secondly, there was a commitment from UNRWA in May that it will take them only 3 months to have a reconstruction of Karuma. But until now, when you go to the bridge, there is hardly any progress. There is no equipment on site. We are wondering what kind of calendar UNRWA uses. Do they use the Gregorian calendar or the Hebrew calendar to make these commitments? Thirdly, the country needs, and Northern Uganda is bleeding, because we need urgent affirmative action on infrastructure projects and bridges. And as a matter of fact, can you imagine that Northern Uganda has the biggest land mass by region? We have a land mass of 82,000 square kilometers, but we have the lowest, the least tarmac coverage of only 14.9%. What fairness is there? in handling our priorities as a region. So we are concerned. We also, fourthly, UNRWA needs to come clean and also inform the region. If they derive pleasure when the poorest region in the country with a very high poverty rate is being charged very high prices on commodities on account of their failure to properly manage the reconstruction of this bridge, their extortions, their delays, their diversions. So they need to inform us whether they feel happy or derive pleasure from the sufferings of our people. Like it has been stated, the cost of doing business in the region is becoming unbearable. And most of our business people are young people. And eventually, northern Uganda is a food basket for this country. Eventually, these high prices of commodities will bite the entire country if this situation is not arrested in time. The livelihood and even the mobility of the people of northern Uganda matters. And we'll also give government an ultimatum to respond to these concerns that we have raised, at least in the next 1 week, or else there are constitutional mechanisms and alternatives that we shall also pursue to see that there is quick action on the matters that we have raised.
Linda Agnes, the woman member of parliament for Lira district, and the Laon parliamentary group publicity. Today, as leaders from northern Uganda, we felt that it's prudent for us to bring to the attention of government on what is happening in Karuma Bridge and related businesses through that bridge. I would like to confirm what my colleagues have said about the extortion of money from business people that are using this bridge. I myself, I use the same route, and even if you go right now, you'll go to Karuma Trading Center and you'll get trucks parked there, buses parked there, waiting to use that same route at night. This is happening, which is also putting the life of the users of this means of transport at risk. As per what we are aware of, that UNRWA temporarily closed the usage of this bridge, especially from heavy trucks, because of its status at the moment that is not safe for human usage. 2, the security team that is manning and controlling the accessibility of this bridge is using it for their financial advantage by putting life at risk. Businesses, especially the commodities that is being transported, at risk due to their selfish interests and gains of getting money at night and making people to cross through this. Yet, on the other hand, this closure has brought a lot of problems to the business community in northern Uganda. I'm a businesswoman myself. I do my business in northern Uganda. I also transport my goods through these routes. But the challenge that we're going through is because of the fuel consumption that the trucks are incurring because of the long distance as a result of diversions. That is making the business community not to get profits, because our people are just trying to recover. It means our businesses are not yet big that we maximize a lot of profits. So the little that they are supposed to get as profit in their businesses, they're using it to top up on the transportation that has come up as a result of this closure. 2, as leaders from northern Uganda, we would like to call upon UNRWA and Ministry of Works that we need an update on the status and how far and what plans are they having for reconstruction of this bridge? Because this is the only gateway that we have to northern Uganda. It has really jeopardized the businesses. As we know, northern Uganda is the food basket, and I know the rest of the country will feel this. And we are in for the harvest of the first season, whereby we need to give the rest of this country food. Two, this is the access route to South Sudan, where most of our greater East Africa use this same route to access South Sudan. And you know, most of our Ugandan business community, we are the one that feeds South Sudan. And all this is being interfered with. But nevertheless, even if we are going through this, there's no consideration on other government duties that we are supposed to do as Ugandans on taxes. Recently, this parliament increased taxes on other things. But the business community in northern Uganda are paying all this despite these challenges. And I would like to also call upon the police. Uganda is grappling with the issue of corruption. And it's so frustrating to hear that some people are not yet even fearing going through and doing corruption tendency, despite what is happening in the country at the moment. And I would like to urge the security team to take this as a serious matter. And those officers that are manning that place should be brought to books. And also, what we have reasoned is not just political, it's real. Because there's a problem that when we leaders talk like this, they will just say that we are just talking for political gains and other things. But let them go, even right now, let them go to Karuma and see the trucks loaded there, and go tomorrow morning when those trucks are still there. This one would prove our statement. On behalf of the business community, of which I am one, we are suffering. Our people are suffering. And now the negative impact of this is going to our end users. Those are the local people down there. Because a businessman would want to gain profit. So the prices of other essential commodities are increasing in northern Uganda because there's no one who is ready to get a loss. So
let them play the camera footages of the trucks that move at night. And also let them play the camera footages of the trucks that are parked during daytime on this side and on the other side of the bridge. There you will know that what we are talking about is very correct. Anyway, thank you so much.
That's it.